I just want to show you something real quick, and it's how to install this 3.5mm head gasket into one of the stroker engines. So let's go ahead and check out the video. Let's jump into it, and then first we'll look at some tools that you could use to do this. All right, let's check out these tools. Okay, so a drill, obviously. I would not use an impact. You're gonna strip out the aluminum on the block. So just a drill. You know, this is a fairly inexpensive Craftsman. Make sure you don't have it on the drill setting. You know, probably the second or third highest torque setting is good for now. You know, I almost call this a real torque wrench, but basically a dial torque wrench, you know, if you want to be a little more precise. Some wrenches, right? Sockets. This is probably one of my favorite sockets. It's a 10mm, but it's made by Pittsburgh at Harbor Freight. So it's like super thin wall, you know, which on one hand you think, oh, that's a cheap thin wall socket, it's going to break. But to get the equivalent 3/8 socket, you know, from Blue Point or Snap-on, whomever, it's very expensive. So just bought a super cheap Harbor Freight 10mm, and this thing is nice. Maybe a nut driver, right, for your drill, that would help. And then torque wrenches, just the manual click style. Okay, so those are some of the stuff. Maybe you need a little bit more. Maybe you need a couple of screwdrivers or something. But basically, all of this is serving the same purpose. Okay, pretty much the same as this, because we're just going to take off a few bolts as we go around the engine. So let's look at that now. Okay, so minimal tools required. Okay, so first, you know, you can see I'm in the basement, not even in my little he hut, as the kids call it. And I wanted to just show you that, you know, this is a process that you could do just, you know, anywhere in your living room. But why do it, right? So these industrial engines came about as industrial engines before I had talked to the EVK about doing a box stock class. Okay, so they all come with a couple of these like high heat composite fiber gaskets into the head. But you know, for racing purposes, if we're going to use these as, you know, a stock sealed engine, I thought it would be best that they come sealed with the upgraded head gasket. So all engines will have this 3.5mm head gasket, and then whether you buy one of the EVK like sealed box stock engines that already have it installed, or you just buy the industrial engine by itself, in the box will be a loose head gasket. So if this is you know, common knowledge, okay, thank you. Just, you know, leave a comment if you see if I did something wrong. But if you've never changed a head gasket, you know, maybe this process will help demonstrate how easy it is. You know, you really don't need a lot of tools like you saw, and you really don't need a fancy workbench or anything. Although it would probably help if you had one, just so you're not sitting on the couch. But let me just show you real quick how we put this in. Okay, so the Honda guys, they'll make engine stands out of blocks of wood. I've seen some 4-cycle guys do it. These engines are pretty light, so you could use a cardboard box, you know, just put a hole in it. And that'll just kind of keep your engine in one spot as you're taking off some hardware. Another thing you'll notice, this is an industrial engine, so I haven't put the intake on it. This will come with the bottom intake. So there's no top, you know, go-kart style intake. So just ignore that for right now. You know, it doesn't matter, the process is still the same. And then when we get to the head, you'll see this is a water-cooled head. So again, the process to take it off and put on the gasket is the same. So just don't worry about the fact that it's a water-cooled head. Okay, so let's jump into this. There's a few tools that you could use, you know, whether it's one of these, you know, built-in magnetic nut drivers, or you got sockets, you know, like we looked at. But you need a 3/8, okay? It would help if we put our tools together correctly. All right, so step one, red fan cover. Turn up the torque setting. All right, so red fan cover needs to come off. You'll see they're held on with that toggle switch. Okay, so the head cover's off, just rest it right up here. Now we need to, as you were, the fan cover's off, now we need to take the head cover off. So same process, a couple of bolts. Right, try not to get these mixed up. These are 3/4, these are 7/8 inch, 7/8 inch up here. All right, and as you can see, my cardboard box will allow me to move it around as a really lightweight engine stand. All right, head covers off. Pretty easy. All right. A 13/16 socket is what you need for your spark plug. Right, and then we're just going to go around and take out the 8 head bolts. Now, this process isn't necessary. You can get the engine fired up, run it, run it with those industrial head gaskets. Right. Again, ignore this head. I know it looks a little strange, but this is a water-cooled head. The process is going to be the same though. So you could run it with those composite head gaskets. It's 2 of them. They're about 0.062 inch, I think, thick. And then there's 2 of them stacked up. So I didn't really like that for the idea of having box stock and sealed, because maybe I torque my head down a little bit tighter. I get a little more compression. So the 3.5 millimeter, right? It's about the same as 2 of those, right? But this will be standardized across all engines, right? And it's simple, right? You just take out the composite ones, put in your new one. Right. Right, just like you're putting on a wheel on your vehicle. All right, we're just gonna get them hand started. Get all your head bolts hand started. So we're pretty much done with the easy stuff, right? That's all the easy stuff. this next part, it's important. Okay, so all of these need to be bolted down in sequence the same way you would do a tire, right? So top, bottom, left, right, diagonal. You want to go in that cross pattern so that everything gets torqued down evenly. And then the next most important thing is to torque them down evenly. So the manual, I believe it calls for like 90 to 100 inch-pounds. To me, that seems very, very, very soft. Has it been tried and proven? Yes. Does it still feel weird to me? Yes. So I do them all to 120. And you can use 120 inch-pounds. You can use a dial style torque wrench, which I like. You can use one of the, I don't know what the technical name for it is, but I always just call them like a manual. I don't even know if that's right, but basically a torque wrench, right? It's going to click once we hit the appropriate torque setting. So I have this one set to, that's 16 Newton meters. Yeah, 16 Newton meters, which I'm recording this on my cell phone, so I don't even know what that is, like 130 or 140 inch-pounds. But I prefer, I prefer this dial style. So let's finish getting these on. Okay, and turn this down, to about the mid-range on the torque settings. I'm not torquing it down with this drill yet. Okay. Now it's time to come around with your torque wrench, okay? Let's see. I'm missing one of the little things. Crap. I'm missing the adapter to use my little small one. So we'll use the manual style, right? Because it works just as good. Or whatever style you call this. Whatever the appropriate name for it is, right? So there we go. Right? Top, bottom. Right, left, or left, right, just like you're saying your prayers, right? Now do the corners. Boom, and you've changed the head gasket. Okay, so next step is just put everything back together like you had it, right? Head cover goes on. Right, we find the 4 appropriate bolts that go on this. Just getting them started by hand. What is that? 4, 6, 4, that's 10. 10 bolts around the engine plus the 8 head bolts. That's really all you're taking off, okay? All right, we need to put the head cover back on. Oh, let me line up this little rubber grommet right here. Go, screwing up my alignment. All right, let's do this one. Right, and as you can see, I haven't tightened anything down yet. I'm just getting everything kind of started by hand. Feels cross-threaded. All right, so now I got these 4 started by hand, these 2 started by hand. We can come around, put these 4 on. All right, again, just by hand, right? Just get them started. We're not tightening anything down with the drill yet. Just want to make sure that all of the holes and all the bolts are lined up. Also have a nut driver wrench out there. That's really a handy tool. But as you can see, all you really need is, you know, anything with a 3/8 inch socket, preferably a deep socket so you can put the head on, or, you know, an adapter for your drill. Okay, so we're getting those started, hand started. All right, next thing we're gonna do, all right, we're just gonna pull some upward tension on that head cover. All right, every drill is going to be different. This Craftsman, I've got it set on the second to highest, so 22 whatever. It's not Newton meters and it's not inch pounds, so it's just not on the drill setting. The drill setting is going to screw you up and mess up your engine. So, right, you're looking at approximately 100 inch-pounds for these. Okay, so pull a little upward tension on it, just so it sits in the right spot. Tighten those down. Right, you see which ones I did first? Those, then these. Then these side ones. Boom. All right, and now you have, you know, basically the upgraded head gasket. You have the 3.5 millimeter stroker head gasket installed in here. You can toss out those 2 composite ones, and I don't know how long this video is. I'll check it out in a second. Maybe 10 minutes of me talking and walking through it and kind of going slow because it's over here to the side and stuff. You know, if you were standing at a workbench, that's like a 5 to 10 minute project right there. Taking off some hardware, putting on your new gasket if you want to. It's going to come with the engine, and then locking everything back down. So that's it. Thanks for watching.